You're listening to the Ochoman Behind the Eight Ball, only on Ignotainment. Without further ado, the one, the only, Ochoman.
Behind the eight ball. All my life, that's where I've been.
Hey, folks, it's the Ochoman behind the eight ball. And we got our big man right next to me here, Armand. Armand, great to see you, brother.
Yeah, we got kind of a skeleton crew today, though.
And we've got, well, he's not so much.
We have a guest engineer.
We got Biggie in here working the boards.
Hello.
And, well, Nick, where's Nick at? On a spaceship or something?
I think he's somewhere between Enceladus and some other Saturn moon, Pan.
He might have found the planet.
What dimension do you think he's in today? I don't even think he's in the solar system. I think he's dimension hopping.
Yeah, definitely. We don't have Nick. It's good to always have Nick here giving his perspective.
I think we do. You know, I mean, I
love having Nick.
Well, he has astral projection. I think he can be here. He's one of those guys who can be in several different places at the same time.
And none at once.
Yeah, right. Sometimes I wonder if he's here at all. He's
I tell
levitating.
I tell you what, though, Armand, I am really excited. I talked to you earlier this morning about this diet. It's not even a diet. It's not even a diet. It's this 5 days.
You think he can make it, E?
I think he can make it.
5 days. That's
5 days
I don't know
with
if
the
I could do that.
With the GM of
With the gym?
With the gym, yeah. With our GM, I am going to go no food at all. Just coffee,
water, tea.
And coffee, tea, and water. Yeah, that's it.
Wow. Whew.
That's it. 5 days. Can you give a little rundown of what this exactly is?
Because I think we've already
had that discussion. Let the people know about it too.
Well,
because this is kind of interesting stuff here, folks. I'm not just doing this just to say I'm not going to eat for 5 days, but there's some medical big pluses about this.
Yeah, there's a lot of evidence that the only thing, any of these miracles that claim they can extend life, your lifespan, etc. None of those have ever proven testing in laboratories. But the only one that has been proven, at least in rodents, etc., and there's really not that much difference, but especially Ochoman and a rodent. The only difference. Well, I'm going to take my shot. What the hell? Nick's not here. I'm going to abuse you.
Go ahead, take a shot.
So,
at me.
But anyway, they've extended the lifespan of certain animals.
So how
by limiting calories, caloric limitation.
So what's this all about? Our guy.
When you don't eat, I mean, eating, of course, it puts quite a metabolic stress on your body. It's not exactly. You think you just digestion is very.
It's part of the natural system, though.
True,
eating.
but if you go by the paleo diet, which is very popular now, a couple 100,000 years ago, when
what is the paleo diet?
Paleo diet is basically you're eating like a caveman. Which means you eat meat and you eat vegetables.
Like a
and that's
goddamn
it.
Buffet.
Woolly mammoth?
Woolly mammoth, right. You saber-toothed tiger, woolly mammoth, coelacanth.
Big E, throwing an animal
mastodon.
that I
There is a
never
difference between a woolly mammoth and a mastodon.
Sure is.
But I don't know what it is, but there is a difference.
Who gives a shit? Go on.
I think one of them smells different. But anyway, it was feast or famine, basically. They would kill this mastodon and eat it and denude its ribs and everything else, and then they could go weeks without eating again.
Similar to Eskimo life, really.
Yes, Nanook, etc. And so that's apparently, evolution has provided for us that your body goes into this, after a certain amount of time without eating, goes into this repair mode, especially in the mitochondria, what they always call it, the powerhouse of the cell.
Ooh,
and
powerhouse.
You want those powerhouses of your cells to be in great shape.
And that's what.
And it doesn't contribute to global warming, by the way. But you can actually that's what prolongs the life of the cell and makes you healthier and actually increases your lifespan, supposedly.
Wow, that is interesting because I wanted to do this. Because it's all about
it's cleansing. It's cleaning yourself out.
Just cleaning yourself out, and
that too. And apparently, he's filthy. But
I'm a filthy
he's
animal.
Teeming with fungi and prions and all sorts of hyphae.
We're gonna get rid of it all. We're gonna get rid of it all. I'm gonna be a new man by next Saturday.
Yeah,
this starts on Monday. You guys are gonna.
I thought it was Sunday night. Sunday night.
Sunday night is
You
after
have your
Sunday
last
night.
meal.
Yeah, last meal Sunday night, and then Monday it starts. Monday.
Wow.
And
Good luck.
from Monday through Saturday, you folks out there will hear me on Friday, my last day of
You
this.
think you can make it?
I think he can make it. If anything,
Yeah, what's the odds in the office
Boy,
here?
my over-under's,
I
I
say
don't know,
pretty high.
3.5 days. Boy, 3.5 days is tough.
At this point, I don't think he'll do anything to give Cromer an inch on you.
Yeah.
Have you made a bet with Cromer?
Well, he's
Well,
heard about it. That's enough.
Yeah, and
Well, there should be something at stake here. You know, I mean, if the guy's going to
don't
go
bring up steak, son.
Yeah, I'm
the
sorry. There should be some sort of wager.
There should be, but I really don't want anyone to go up against me like that and start calling me about food.
I don't know.
and
That
shit
would.
like that.
Well, no, he can't do that. He's not.
That's
supposed to.
just despicable.
Did you ever see that? By the way, did you ever see that All in the Family episode where they had a bet, Archie and
all those pizza boxes coming to the door?
Meathead? Well, they had a bet
Meathead.
that Meathead couldn't eat and Archie couldn't smoke cigars, and they had that bet, and they were driving
wow.
each other crazy.
Yeah.
Check that one out. It's a classic.
Was Archie like coming down late night?
He was eating right in front of him, and then and then Meathead goes, "Yeah, Arch, but here's something you can't resist."
And he blew
you got
the
the
smoke
food.
at his
Yeah, you
face.
got the food, but where's the smoke? There's no smoke. So he's blowing smoke in his face. It was great.
remember that.
They're torturing each other.
Speaking of food, though, not eating, what's the shit that came out this week about bacon?
Oh, that's horse shit. Well, bacon isn't horse shit. It's actually
what the hell has gotten into people
it's
nowadays?
political correctness, and all that. I think here again, they don't want you to eat meat. Bacon is. It's not the best thing in the world for you, but it's certainly not going to kill you.
Now that's box bacon, though, right? It's
don't know what it is.
processed.
I think there's-
is that-
yeah,
that's
but-
what-
okay.
Now they're talking about. They
They're
did a
talking about all
study in
meat.
England that you can't even eat one steak a week.
Right?
That'll
right.
hurt you.
That's a bunch of horse shit. Don't buy it. Go ahead, have a steak. Eat
I'm
up.
saying, when the hell can
Take it from
man
your
stay
podiatrist.
away? Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, though, remember you're an LA kid. You lived there for quite a while. Remember Pink's over on La Brea?
Yeah.
I have never seen Pink. You know what I'm talking about?
Not a clue.
It's a hot dog stand, and I have never seen it where there wasn't a line halfway around the block to get to Pink's.
No line?
Is it hype or
No
is
line.
It,
It was empty.
You're
I
kidding.
swear. We drove by there like I don't know 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Where the hell's the line? And it was open.
It was open. I was going to say. is it
somebody
close?
said I think it's because of this hot dog scare or whatever. And now LA people.
Oh, for love
They're
of
gonna go to
God.
Pink's.
That's so L.A. type, too.
Can you imagine that?
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor
That'd be a
guy.
good
What
hot
the hell? He's probably made
Well, I hope they don't
millions.
put Pink's. Well, I'm sure. Yeah, multi-millionaire.
What
but-
the hell's he?
Are the hot
Could
dogs
you
there
imagine
that?
that?
Good, or are they that good or is it hype?
I've never had it. I never wanted to wait in line that
Never
long.
braved the line.
No. It's
Have you had it?
no. You know what? Just like he said, though. I mean, something that you always see and go, I'm not gonna wait.
Right. It's some. Yeah. Even though if you pass by and you have a taste for it, but then you think, wait a minute, I'm not waiting 2 hours.
One thing
like
about
riding a roller
L.A.
coaster.
One thing about L.A. that you don't see a lot when I was there was sports bars.
No, that's not big.
I-
That's not big on them.
No, you don't see too many sports bars, and they got a couple. Like I went to in Glendale, but you know what? It's mostly it's not sports bars.
Well, there's too much other things to do. I don't know if they get an NFL team, maybe they may,
Well,
blossom,
I
burgeon.
heard
They're
that
gonna get
the,
something.
The Rams there are going back home.
I heard the Raiders
They're
too, and the
2-1.
Chargers. They may
Yeah,
get
but
two.
right now though, the Rams are the favorites to go back.
Well, most of the people I talk to don't want the Rams.
No,
Well, you get
They prefer the Chargers.
what a picky prick.
Well, they can pretty much have whoever they want. I think.
You mean to tell me you wouldn't want your old team back?
Not if they're the Rams. No.
Would you want the St. Louis Cardinals back, the football Cardinals?
Yeah,
I would now. Boy,
Yeah,
they're really
fuck
good.
Yeah, you do.
They're a great team. They're really good.
Damn, Biggie.
I'm on the
Those
grudge.
Arizona Cardinals, those guys play good.
Boy, I remember those. There were some embarrassing years though. I went to a lot of games because they were giving tickets away. I never paid for one, and we used to go late in the season when it was December.
You used
It's
to
really
watch
cold.
Jim Hart play, huh?
Jim Hart, yeah, Dan Deerdorf,
Dan Deerdorf. Who was their
Conrad
running
Dobler,
back? Who was their running
Terry
back?
Metcalf,
Terry Metcalf.
Otis Anderson,
The white guy that white out. What was his name? Pat Tilley.
Pat. Well, no, he was.
No, Pat
Pat Tilley was the
guy
cornerback.
Wait a minute.
Mel Gray.
Wasn't there Tilley that got killed in Afghanistan?
Oh, Tillman.
Oh,
yeah.
that was Tillman. Okay, so what? It might have
Yeah.
been Tilley then.
Pat Tilley, yeah.
Pat Tilley,
I think
all right.
he was. I think he's in the Hall of Fame.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think so. He was a great player.
Man,
cornerback.
I'll tell you what, those little white guys back then, they played good. Those Steve Largents for Seattle, remember
Well,
him?
I mean, yeah, I
the
remember him,
fucker,
sure.
he never dropped a ball.
Didn't he have some kind of record catches streak or something? Was that?
I don't
was that
know,
him?
but back in those days, man, you always thought of Jim Horn and Steve Largent as Seattle. There was nothing else you'd remember from Seattle Seahawks
Yeah.
but those two guys.
How about Bronco Nagurski? Man, it's really going back a ways.
Who the hell was he?
You don't remember Bronco Nagurski?
No, I don't.
He's got the record. He's the only non-kicker to be an All-Pro at 3 different
What
positions.
the hell kind of kicker would be named Bronco?
He's not. He's a non-kicker.
Oh, okay.
Who was he was like an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman, and a cornerback or something. All-Pro
A cornerback. He was a cornerback
or something
too?
like that. I don't know. Safety maybe.
How the fuck
This is in
was
the
he that
40s.
fast? Oh yeah. Well, everyone weighed.
Well, you know,
about
and an
150.
interesting
That's
story.
why that Jim Brown, that big black guy, was running over these little white guys back then.
Oh, well, Bronco Nagurski supposedly he was like 225, which was big back then, 6'2". Well, the story goes after he retired, he ran a gas station, and he always had repeat customers because he would put the cap on so tight only he could loosen it.
Genius.
Yes, so nobody
Wow.
else get the damn gas cap off. So he had to go back to Bronco's garage.
Jesus Christ, that's got to be a big hand, man.
How do you like that? Yeah. Why didn't you think of that?
What? Remember that fucking place I used to work at in high school? They used to come in for back then, guys. We had full service, and
What was this?
this was called Gitcho's Gas.
Oh, really? You worked there?
I worked there
Oh, on the corner?
on the corner.
It's still there. I mean,
It's still there, but
they
I don't
sell
think
cars.
they sell gas
sell
anymore.
cars, yeah.
It was
Definitely
full
not full
service.
service.
It was one of those things where it's a dying thing.
Yeah,
and, and we were the few people that did it, and I didn't know how to fucking even open up the hood to these cars.
Yeah, you of all people. I
Good
mean,
Lord.
So here, I didn't even know how to do the gas. I mean, not the gas, but the
gas cap.
the air.
Oh, the air.
Check the air.
Couldn't
So
fill a
you know
tire.
what I would do? I would
check the
come
air.
Up
The air is in the tires, right?
the air's in the tire. Where the hell else? would
Where
that
did you check?
tire
The
be?
carburetor?
No. I take that thing.
It's not
right, and
exactly
I-
Edsel Ford, but
All right, let me talk here. I'd go over there and put this air thing down. I don't even know what number I'm looking for or anything. So then
he pumped out about 60 pounds per square inch.
I would love to have said I did that, but I would kick the tire, and if it looked like it had enough air, I'd suddenly start making the
Nice
sound.
scientific way of making.
I would make this. I would make the sound effect. I go,
It's a regular Bernoulli.
shut up! I'd go like this. I go, sounds good to me.
That's
Great.
what. That was you.
That was me. That was me.
that did sound
I never knew how to even check the air or anything like that.
I could see him snapping off a windshield wiper or something. You know.
Yeah, you know what? I was horrible. I was
Yeah,
horrible.
kinda clumsy.
But you know what? And these people paid like extra 30, 40 cents to see me do this shit.
You ever checked oil?
Did you do that?
I lifted it up. I didn't know what I was looking for. I
Yes,
think
there's
the-
oil.
If I seen some black stuff on it, I figured it was good.
Well,
So-
generally oil's brown.
The fragging
well,
industry
whatever.
could use him.
Black, brown, whatever.
I know the guy. You know the guy that owns that. His son was a great wrestler.
Is the guy
Jan.
still alive?
I don't think the father is. I
The
think Jan
father,
is.
man.
Jan's
the
still
father.
around.
The father guy. He was a cool guy. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
he had
Nice
that,
guy.
all that gold on him and stuff.
Yeah, he has that whole corner. You know.
But he had that manager there that was like pissed off at the world. That
Oh, really?
oh yeah.
How do you put up with you?
Oh, yeah, you know what? He said that as long as I'm going down, you're going down with me. We'll be both miserable.
I know when you worked at Pantera's, you almost gave our managers a couple of
I don't know what the
myocardial
hell.
infarctions.
He was the manager. He was the manager.
Yeah, I hired him. So
He hired me, and
I had a
all of a
stake in his
sudden, these
Questionable hire.
these fuckers would make
nepotism.
me work. These guys would make me work during a basketball game where all my friends are going to be at that night. So I got a little pissed off. There were times I drive the car recklessly, and
Sure. I mean,
yeah, it's
and
to be expected.
and one time the car stopped working.
Yeah,
What can you do? You know, and I
Sure.
said, I got to go home. Well, this guy...
you
this-
strike a pedestrian and look what happens. They dock you 15 minutes.
And this guy named Mark, Bix,
Yeah,
whatever.
we don't even say the last names.
Well, I don't even think I said it right, but his first name was Mark, and this guy was just so pissed off at me all the time. He thought I was a...
He actually thought you were kind of amusing when you caught him in the right, when you caught him right in the mood. He just thought you were.
Oh, fuck. He was on his period every
Sometimes
day.
you were aggravating. Other times he
I tell you though, I mean, you get to appreciate, like my 15-year-old's like, Dad, I want my Jeep, brand new 2017 Jeep next.
That's what your
next
daughter
year.
said?
Yeah, she
My
said, you
God.
know what, I'm getting good grades. I think I deserve that 2017 Jeep next year.
She figures if you deserve a Tesla, she could at least get a Jeep.
And I told her, you know what,
Her grades are better than his, believe me.
yeah. I drove like a Buick Skylark, man, and a 15-year-old Buick Skylark, and I appreciated
You remember my first
it.
car? I had a
Fuck,
not-
your first cars were yours. You could barely fit in these
No,
cars.
no. I had a Volkswagen bus.
You had a
The
bus?
1600 Volkswagen bus.
No way, I never
Yeah,
seen
of
that
course
one.
I did.
I never.
Sure.
All I seen was that blue piece of shit that you had. That little guy. It was.
No. This was after that.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
before that. My first car was $900. It was a 1600.
You know how
Transporter.
You know how expensive those are now.
Oh,
those
God.
are classics.
Yeah, those
man.
are something. Yeah, you don't see too many of those
No,
anymore.
hell no. Those.
I think Bob Dylan's the only one who's got one now.
No, they said that they got a club of these.
Yeah,
cars,
they're
and,
very rare, yeah.
they're very rare, and they keep it really nice. Fuck, if you still had that, man.
No, I wrecked the thing, but I didn't. You know, I kind of caved in the front of it, but that thing was built like a Sherman tank. You could. Hey, speaking of which, did you see VW? I don't know, we already talked about that. The emissions, how they cheated on the emissions.
Yeah, Volkswagen did that.
I love
right?
it. Beautiful. It's
But
beautiful.
it seems like it's all gone now. I don't even hear about
Well,
it
their
anymore.
stock's getting killed. Their
Stock's still getting killed.
Yeah, it's
huh?
getting Porsches and everything. Yeah, I'd like to buy one though.
Now, is it true? Now, Biggie, you might know this. You're a big advocate on cars. The Volkswagen has an engine that has parts of it that's same with the Porsche. It's
Well, yeah, they've got the same company.
Yeah.
but it's got
Volkswagen
the same,
owns Porsche.
but it's got the same stuff as a Porsche would.
That's pretty common. Yeah.
Well, Ferdinand.
Well, then why is some fucking car named Porsche being sold for over $100,000 and a Volkswagen?
well, there's
being
more
sold?
to it, I think, than the engine. I
Well, a
don't.
water pump's a water pump.
Yeah,
it boils down
okay,
to
we
that.
got a lot
Well,
of.
Ferdinand Porsche actually in the 30s, Adolf Hitler wanted a people's car, which is what literally Volkswagen means in German. Okay,
people's car?
People's car. Yes, that's German. So he had Ferdinand Porsche design it in 1936.
That's amazing. You know, Adolf Hitler had this car company that's still alive right now, and you got the plane that bombed Pearl Harbor, Mitsubishi. It was a Mitsubishi plane.
Yes, a Zero. That's
a
right.
Zero. And
Well,
and
it was
now
more than
that-
one. They
that's
actually probably
still-
had several. I
Yeah,
think
but
there were at least 10.
Just the name factor alone, you think that American from history would say, I'm staying away from
Americans love a deal.
Mitsubishi."
That's business. I mean, we've already discussed that. Even Nick knows. Why have we gone to war?
Why are you
'Cause
pointing
of-
at an empty seat?
Nick, tell them all about it. Tell
No,
them about
I
Tell
don't.
them
I don't know about
the
that,
banks.
but I can
the banks
tell you.
started the
and-
World War One. It was all for about the banks.
Did you
Big
hear?
money.
Did you see Nick's post?
Nick's right on that one.
Did you see Nick's post
No, I didn't read
about
it.
the big fucking skull? That
No, what was that?
I don't know, man.
What you don't?
He
you didn't see it either?
he uncovered this fucking 7-foot skull.
Nick did?
Not Nick.
I could see Nick digging up a skull.
Well, it was
yeah.
in like South America,
Oh, okay.
and he posted it on Ochoman to me and Chris. I guess you weren't on
There's
the.
another crystal skull.
They,
or-
they said it to me, but I don't read his.
No, I don't.
No time for
I
that.
read it all the time, Nick.
My
But
faith in science is shaken every time I read something by him. I start questioning my own sanity.
the fucking there was
As
a
they say
skull.
in Hebrew, he's a meshuggah.
Mashugana, what's that?
A guy that drives you crazy. Meshuggah.
You sometimes give him Mashugana.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
by the
yeah,
way,
I'm a
by the
Meshuggah to
way,
him.
little props out to you about the whole ice thing, Antarctica.
Oh, you're finally going to admit something about that? Yeah, Antarctica.
Well, not so fast on
Well,
this
hey,
note.
listen,
By the way, that's my other show I'm part of, Not So Fast. If you guys
Yes,
get a
that's a
chance,
plug.
listen to Not So Fast on our podcast shows out there.
NotSoFastPodcast.com.
Yeah, and
That's a shameless plug.
and this is what my GM told me about this. He said, "Well, you know, Armand's going to be going off on this and that and saying that, but he said it's getting a little bit bigger now than it was before, but it's still very low."
It's not true. It's not very low.
Not
It's very high, actually. The ice content is very thick.
I'm starting to buy into your stuff now. I don't know.
All
what
I
it is.
wanted people to do, go read for yourself. Don't believe this nonsense, okay? I'm so sick of mental laziness. All right, that I can't abide. They teach the kids this. These fools. I'm going to lunch with a fool. We know his name after this.
No way, you're going back
Yeah,
with
we
him?
made up.
Unbelievable.
But you know something?
You said there's no way you're going with that
Well,
fool.
I've decided. Here's what I decided, Och. You don't mind if I call you Och?
Well,
do you?
of course not.
No,
That's my name.
Yes, that's short for your real name.
Right.
But I decided. Well, and I told him. I said, look, you don't want to debate anymore. The whole point of this.
How did the door knocking ever pop up? I mean, who called who or what?
Well, we went to a trivia match together. You know, we were on the
Right.
same trivia team.
And you guys are just looking
right,
at each
right.
other
Well,
awkwardly?
he thought I'd throw a punch. I guess I just shook my hand and let's be gentlemen about this. And I said, but I've realized that you don't want to debate things. You just want to make me mad, which you can do because I'm passionate Armenian. You know, I get mad. So to tell you, okay, so I just want to make you mad. Your mother's a whore. Okay.
Ooh.
You
Yeah.
said that?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Hillary Clinton's a cunt. Your mother's a whore. If you vote for Barack Obama, you're a stupid cocksucker. That's what I did. I just want to make you mad. Since we're not debating anyway, I might as well just curse you and the hell with you.
Holy shit.
What did he say?
Well, what can he say? I mean,
punched
he's an 80-year-old man, so he can't do a damn thing about it.
An 80-year-old man, you called him all this shit.
Yeah, I thought
You said his dead mother is a whore.
I said, yeah,
And then you brought Hillary
scrotum-licking
Clinton in.
liberal jackass or something. I don't know what I called him every name in the book, but that's what we're doing.
And he just sat there and said, let's go to lunch afterwards?
Yeah, then we had lunch. And it
I
was very
like him.
pleasant. And that's what I'll do to him today, too. Because if I bring up this NASA report on Antarctica, A, he's never read it. B, if he reads it, he won't believe it. And C, he'll just dismiss anything I say.
I
'cause
think you
it's
ought to keep his
Republican
mother
propaganda.
out of it, though. I don't know why the hell you got to rip
Yeah,
on
I
his
went
mother.
after his mother. Well, that's what you do. That's how Armenians curse people. You don't insult them, man. You know what my
Yeah, my
godfather
wife does that shit, too.
You know
to
what my godfather
dead
told
mom.
me?
That's
No, you don't go after their mom. You go after their grandmother's dog.
grandmother's
Yeah,
dog.
meds
Who
might
the
get
fuck cares
meds
about-
might get kunat shunem. Shuna kunem.
Why the fuck would you fuck
That
the
means
grandmother's dog?
Fuck your grandmother's dog. That's like
I-
supposedly
you
the
know
worst.
what,
That's
that-
like the worst thing you can say to somebody.
That's
I've been
his
doing it all
that's
wrong.
his family. They come from a tribe that they fuck grandmother's dogs.
How do you say you fuck your grandfather's cat?
All right, let's say this.
Meds
Kubabigit
Meds hairigit,
kunem kugadut.
Yeah, meds hairigit gadu kunem.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
so-
pretty bad too, I'd imagine. But supposedly if you go after the grandparents,
no one cares about the cat.
yeah,
But
dog,
the dog. We're talking.
Yeah,
That's
Dog,
serious
I mean,
shit.
dogs are
Dogs are sacred.
Yeah, the dogs are sacred in
part of the
Armenia.
family.
So you know what? You just brought up a whole box.
part of the
worms.
gene pool actually in the
Holy
Armenian
shit.
group. Yeah.
Holy cow! You attacked the guy's
Yeah,
dog,
yeah.
or not his mother? His
Grandmother's dog. I went after his mother too. But if that's the whole point. I mean, if you just want to make somebody mad, okay, good. Fuck your mother. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's universal too.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you can say to somebody. But I like the grandmother's dog.
I don't think how the fucking thing could ever offend me.
No, I wouldn't either. But apparently in Armenia, it's pretty
Well,
bad.
maybe some Turkish little village that
If it's
used
some
to be
asshole
Armenian.
you don't know, like say you're sitting in a bar and some asshole you don't know thinks he's going to come up to you and say, fuck your grandmother's dog. Well, just the insinuation.
Yeah.
you're insulting me.
I would say, if you could find my grandmother's dog to fuck, by all means,
Okay.
fuck my grandmother's
Well,
dog.
maybe it was a different. Maybe it was a different tribe.
Yeah, it have to be because
Could be a
I never
cult,
heard that,
a
but
sect.
fuck, I think it's funny more or less. Fuck, you want to fuck your grandmother's dog. Anyway, man. Speaking of,
We were talking about sports, or we didn't brought any sports up. What's new in sports? I haven't been following it much.
well, I tell
in
you
LA.
what, with this NFL now, you got another Cincinnati team that's 8-0.
Yeah, they look tough.
Can they threaten New England in the AFC?
I'd love it.
Now let me ask you this.
Do they play?
I'm giving you a
Are they on the
hypothetical
schedule?
question here.
Yeah.
You got the three teams that are undefeated right now. You've got Denver, New England, and Cincinnati. Rate these three right now from bottom up.
I don't know. I'm like Nick. I haven't been
Okay.
following it.
All right. I would say
Nick is clairvoyant. He could probably tell you, but I
yeah.
can't.
What the fuck would Nick know about
That's
that?
what I'm saying. He's clairvoyant.
Right.
That
Whatever
means
is.
he can see things.
Oh, okay.
He has a cousin who's a werewolf, too. Just saying.
Does
buddy-
he have a cousin that's a werewolf?
That's what I
a
heard.
lycanthrope.
Wow.
That's what it's called.
What?
A lycanthrope.
Is there a real thing?
Lycanthropy. Yes.
that's
People
werewolfism.
believing they're werewolves.
Oh, okay. Well.
Also known as insane.
Also known as insanity. Yeah. He's not bad.
Anyway, I would say right
But you
now.
don't have the sound effects that Chris has.
Yeah.
Can we
Give
get
me-
a rim shot or something?
I'll sit with Chris
That
one time.
fucking day was so hilarious,
team.
man. Whenever Nick was, He goes, I want you guys sit in here. I'm gonna come in here and I'm going to see what kind of reaction you guys get from me or whatever.
Oh, when he came in with the quote, gun
with his fingers
yeah.
pointed like
I didn't
a
get
gun.
I didn't know what the hell he was doing.
No, but he did scare me before
Did he?
when he said that because I thought he was going to come after you. I thought he was going to shoot you, and I was going to be sitting there, and I'd take a friendly bullet.
I don't think
too.
Nick. I don't think Nick would.
No, he's not. He's the friendliest guy. He's
I know,
the
but
harmless
if you
guy
got
in
on
the
Nick's
world.
on Nick's bad side, he'd make a voodoo doll of you, and stick a pin right in your scrotum.
I think so.
And that's how Nick would get you.
Speaking
That's
of
a real
scrotum,
worry.
man.
He would do that.
By the way, on that, they just came up with a. I think it was Cornell University came up.
The liberal.
All right, hang on. I think you'd agree with this.
Okay.
Tidy underwear kills all the sperm. For a few months, they got guys that wear just like tight underwear.
Oh, tight underwear. Well, that's
Yeah.
true. Well, that's nothing new. I don't know if it kills
And,
all, but it has been proven
it brought it
to,
down to
yeah.
zero. It brought it down to
that's
zero
very tight.
in few months. In few months that they said people that ride bikes. They're prone
anything
to
that traumatizes.
and he said,
your jewel box.
And they said that don't hop in the fucking a jacuzzi too much either.
Correct.
That takes a toll out of it.
You know why do you know why your orbs are actually in a sack?
Sir, keep it simple, will you? What do you mean orbs?
You know
What
why
the
your
hell?
balls are in your scrot?
Thank you. Why can't you say
Temperature
fuck all the
management, right?
time and you say
No,
you
I only say
call
fuck
your-
when I'm insulting someone's mother,
right? But go ahead. Now
a liberal's mother. But
Go ahead.
no,
smartass.
because
there you go. We're getting
your
ripping
balls
on the
hang
liver.
down because they need to be cooler than the rest of your
temperature
body.
management, yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
So there's like 1 degree cooler.
Anyway, they found out that in a few months they lost all the sperm, but guess what?
comes
They
back.
went to boxers,
Right.
and they got it all back. So, hey, anyone out there wearing these tidy little underwears, if you're a male, get off that shit.
like that
Wear
mo-
boxers.
Certainly none of your listeners.
It's like that Musashi that the
Musashi.
yeah, Musashi. That's the real tight belt that the sumo wrestlers wear.
Who the fuck walks around with that, though?
No, it's very tight. I was just comparing. But you know something about
Yeah,
something.
that's a fucking sport, man.
But you know those sumo
They're
wrestlers-
only wearing that for maybe an hour, a couple hours.
Well, here's
then
something
they're
else
taking
about
it
those-
off.
You don't wear your jockstrap all weekend?
Not since college. But here's
Just
something
me.
interesting about these sumo wrestlers. Did you know that they can will their balls up into their stomach?
Shut up.
Honest to God, they actually practice that.
How do you practice that?
They have the muscle control. There's a muscle that does that, and most people can't control it. I mean, it's not because anatomically, when it's cold, etc., or you want to protect your nuts, your acorns, your body actually does suck them up. It's called I believe it's called a cremaster reflex.
Dude, I think that happened
They can control
to me
it.
when
They can control that.
when I was cleaning the driveway when it was snowing last year.
You'll have that. It's like jumping in a cold pool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cremaster
So
reflex.
the little fellas, they hide.
Exactly. They
They
suck
hide.
up into
They-
your pouch.
Oh, those
Like a
cute
little-
little
That's
pricks.
some Shaolin quality shit there. I will control my balls
They
with
can
my
control-
willpower.
Yeah, so theoretically, you kick them right in the nut. They're not there.
They're not there. No nuts.
But that's interesting that they have that kind of that's one of the first things they teach them to suck those things up.
Suck
I
your
don't
balls.
know how
on
you could
command.
do that though. I don't know how you could.
They do it. I don't know. What,
Some
can you
people
get a
can't
sumo
wiggle
wrestler?
their ears. Some people can.
Yeah,
Some
why
people-
why would a sumo wrestler even give a shit about that?
Because apparently, I mean, they're worried about that when they wrestle. That they don't want to get kicked in the ball. That's
You
a
want a
rough
400
sport.
pound Japanese guy falling
Yeah.
on your junk?
well, you're
And you
right
got that
about
tight Musashi around you, and
Yeah,
at the basho,
sexy.
that's where they
looking
wrestle in a
bastards, I'll tell you
basho.
that right now. They're sexy. They're sexy. Wild.
Oh, they're
big
heroes.
animals.
They're heroes in Japan.
top-notch.
Is that still
Sure.
happening
It's
there?
it's the national sport of Japan.
Do they use them for breeding?
I
or
was
what?
once a Yokozuna.
Yokozuna, that's right, the highest level.
Grand champion. Yeah.
Haven't been in too many of them.
He's still winning, or
I was once a Yokozuna. Not a lot of people know that.
Yeah, even fewer believe it.
is that why you're always on them fucking Snickers left and right?
Yes, sir. I got to keep up my form.
You're not yourself when you.
Well, hey, Big E.
Sure.
I think you ought to go on this 5-day with us.
Well, if I had more,
I think you got more of a chance of him sucking his balls up into his gut than him going on the.
that's fair. But with a little, I don't know. If you were giving me a couple days notice to really work my head into it, I might have.
What the fuck? You got 2 days.
You're not going to come in on a Friday morning and get me to give up food. It's just not happening.
That's pretty. It's not 5 days. That's a tough fast.
I am really stoked up, pumped up about this.
Does your wife know about this?
Is
she gonna support this?
She started laughing her ass off last night when I
she
told
didn't
her.
believe
She
it.
said, "There's no goddamn way you could." She goes, "You can't stay you can't stay 2 hours away from food. How the hell are you gonna?" I said, "I'm gonna do it this time."
No, like nuts or anything.
No. You can't eat anything. You can't eat anything.
Now, are you talking about legumes or you're talking about
Legumes,
anatomical
correct,
nuts?
What the
legumes.
fuck? What I eat
Almonds.
male nuts for? What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. Just asking. He's new. I don't know what makes him tick yet.
I'm not insinuating he eats male nuts.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna stay away from
Licks
everything.
them.
It's gonna be iced tea without sugar. It's gonna be coffee, black
Right,
coffee,
black coffee, water.
and water. So
That'll
I'm
be
kinda-
quite a challenge.
Yeah, you know what? I can't wait to get on next Friday and
Well,
tell
save you
our
some
people
money.
about it. So
Coming
that,
next
save
week looking
money.
like $1 million.
I'm gonna be so pissy. I think.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to be around him.
Pissier.
I think I'm gonna be so pissy.
Yeah, he was quite. He threw out what's his name?
Yeah, T.O. Who's
T.O. got kicked out.
He just. God damn, that guy drives me insane.
You love him.
Boy,
He drives me insane.
was,
That Tony still comes around. He drives me insane. I'm telling you guys.
These are your showmates on Not So Fast you're talking about.
Yeah, I thought you were all together.
Boys.
They just drive me fucking bananas. I gotta tell you, man. I feel like
did it merit all that vituperation and acrimony?
I feel like Becky on the carpet, and I just got rid of Wanda.
I went out with her.
You went out with Becky?
Yeah, you know, Wanda was stealing from her.
Did
I
you
asked
take
her.
the carpet for her ride?
She's a big girl, Becky.
Is she big?
She's
Double
immense.
on top.
I thought she lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, but not. Her chest has to be. I mean, X's. I don't know what that. Unbelievably big.
She ate Wanda.
She may have. Wanda's disappeared, but apparently she told me Wanda was stealing from her.
So that's what she says. We don't have any
Yeah,
proof of that on
allegedly,
our show.
Wanda was stealing from Becky.
So
I don't think these people know what the hell's
God,
going on.
how could she be
They're like
stealing? They were on a goddamn carpet
The only
together.
time you saw 'em was
there was
during the-
nothing on that carpet.
The only
but they
time you
were
saw that
just
commercial
riding.
was during the Three
They took their
Stooges on
flying
Saturday
carpet
night.
to,
Remember?
Yeah, you see that.
Aladdin's Cave or whatever. Alibaba's.
Yes.
You see that commercial on that time, and
That and the guy from Collinsville. Remember him, the big ketchup with the gorilla?
Oh, yeah.
what
Home furniture.
What did
in
he say?
Collinsville.
What the
He
hell
was
was that?
awful. He's still on. I've seen commercials. of him.
Shut up!
He's
I
still
haven't
on
seen that guy.
I swear. No, he's
where,
still
where
on.
Where the hell you see that
on
guy?
CNBC.
Wow.
During the
CNBC.
stock market, yeah, of all places.
Speaking of CNBC, they came out with this finding that said that action movies are the ones that you eat out of your mind. You just fucking sit there unconsciously and just
like
eat.
a nervous eating.
C-SPAN was the
Subliminal.
only station that you don't get up and you. I think the show was Carl Rose. That you don't get up and eat anything. You just sit there and you say, okay, what the... I
would
may
say-
be watching C-SPAN a lot more this coming
Well, aren't
week.
you the one that eats late at night when you watch and you see the
Oh,
pizza
God,
advertisements?
It's so tough now.
Well,
And-
during
and
your 5-day fast, I would advise against it.
I am. I'm not.
You're,
well,
you're very prone to suggestion.
to be
feel like
honest
a
with
5-day
you,
slow.
not to give a plug out to this company, but Netflix to me,
Very good.
I love
You missed
Netflix. I love Netflix. I
Yeah.
love kicking back and watching
Right, so
this.
don't watch an action flick because apparently,
And that Hell on Wheels. Have you heard of that one?
no, what is it, a
It's
series?
like a 1880s based. It's based on the expansion of the railroad.
Oh,
And the wheels they're referring is, like locomotive wheels.
Yeah, Locomotive Wheels.
really?
Yeah.
And they're running over the Chinese because a lot of Chinese apparently
No,
died.
that's
over
a
a lot of
different
people.
company. That's a different rail track,
Oh.
but they're definitely in the mix.
Well, that was why they apparently brought all these Chinamen over to work on the railroads.
Right, and right now I'm on season 5, beginning of season 5. Bohannon is going to be working with these Chinamen,
Okay.
so it's going to be
That's not
interesting.
politically correct. I'd say probably Asians. Is probably,
No, in the show
Asian
they're called
Americans do.
Yes, but in the show they're called Chinamen.
Well, that's what they called them back then.
Yeah, so they had black people
And
too,
worse.
and
By
they
the way,
called them different
and worse.
names.
And
But
here-
I guess I know what you're saying. Then
Here
that's
again,
not
and
right.
by the way, just to throw in a little bit more because I'm going to lunch with a liberal jackass. The railroads, that whole
I want you to be really
expansion-
kind to him today.
No, hell with him. That whole expansion led to the Panic of 1873. Just another lesson in government getting involved in something they have no business getting involved in. They gave these railroads all this extra land, and they gave them all these breaks, and people were investing, and it turned into a bubble, and it led to a panic, a big one here and Europe. 1873, a bad one.
Wow.
Because they went broke. Because they couldn't handle it, because the government was propping them up and giving all this free stuff, and then no passengers were on there, and they all went bust.
I wonder, and
People lost a lot of money.
It's not surprising that Hell on Wheels, like the first episode, the guy goes.
Did they talk about that?
He goes into, I don't want a straight railroad. I want a meandering railroad
Correct.
because I get it per mile.
That's right.
So-
Exactly. That's true.
I
Yeah, they
think
jacked up all. That
Exactly.
actually happened. Yeah.
I think every 14
And then
miles
people
they
got
were
paid
getting-
different. And then if you knew somebody in the government, you could run it through your land, etc. I mean, it was all
Exactly.
so corrupt.
Yeah, and that's what's being
Abject
exposed
lesson.
on
Beautiful.
this.
I love this show. Then I love
Yeah,
it.
it's called Hell on Wheels, and you're seeing all the government, the carpetbaggers and shit like that. They're all part of something.
Well,
here.
carpetbaggers in the South. I think that's
No,
what
but
they're-
they went into these little towns, these
Mm-hmm.
made up towns, and they were trying to establish. Well, you know what? Now we're getting this. They just started claiming shit from the railroad people too. So
Oh, yeah, a lot of that.
it's really interesting.
I got a whiff of whiskey. Are you drinking whiskey?
I am drinking whiskey.
As am I.
Oh, okay. Maybe somebody
decided
blew a
When in
belch over here.
Ochoville, do as the Ocho
That
do.
had to be him. I smelled his belch.
Yeah.
before.
Okay.
They're
Yeah. That
unbelievable.
was rather acrid.
Guilty.
That was guttural.
He wouldn't stop pouring.
Well, it's supposed to be good for you. Didn't you read a report on that? No, I'm not sure about that
A
one.
whiskey a day from
Yeah, but how many ounces of whiskey?
what the hell
a
was
shot?
that? What the hell was
Shot, a jigger, a pony?
I don't know,
dram?
but they said a whiskey a day.
jigger.
You can tell the difference on different type of whiskeys, what type of rye, spice, and all this stuff. And it has health benefits as well.
I don't know about
Have
that.
a-
Maybe.
Wine
I don't know.
connoisseur. Smell that shit.
Well, that wine's good for your prostate
The wine is. So why wouldn't the
Red
whiskey?
wine.
Why wouldn't spirits?
because whiskey doesn't have resveratrol in it, which is the agent that's
and-
good for your prostate.
And another thing about whiskey is it's taken over. It's taken over on America's top seller right now. They said that whiskey has moved up the rankings of the best.
What, bourbon or what kind of whiskey?
Any type of bourbon right now throughout the world actually has taken over on the more sales over vodka.
I know
tequila.
it's on the upswing.
So whiskey and Japan is really
the stocks
now
are doing
into it.
real well.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it? Well, I tell you what, Japan's now into it. You got the Irish still with their whiskey, and now America has always thrived on whiskey. I think it's
We've
a
always
great.
drunk Scotch.
What's that?
We were always Scotch drinkers.
Yeah, but you know what? I backed off of that now. I'm not.
You drink bourbon?
Yeah, I'm straight into bourbon now. I somehow I can't get into Scotch anymore.
What's the difference as a noob to whiskey between a Scotch and a bourbon?
Well, the thing with me is the Scotch is a lot more sharper and it just stays in a lot longer. I've been getting a lot of like heartburn and shit with
From the Scotch.
But the bourbon, man, I tell you what, this is Americana at its best.
Are they brewed differently or?
I don't know if it's brewing. It's
however they do it,
fermented, I
fermented,
guess, isn't it?
I think so.
The
I
tea
think
is
so.
brewed, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
See, on this show, since he's new, we strive for certitude in our language, in our terminology.
We certify everything around here. That's our main goal.
Well, you know what?
You've been certified
You know what
for-
Voltaire said.
Is that a Star Trek action figure?
We quote Voltaire on this show.
Voltaire.
If you wish to converse with me, define your terms.
Fair enough.
That was Voltaire.
Hey,
If you wish to converse with Ochoman, try to obfuscate.
Sure.
Make it as simple and as
simple
obtuse.
as it gets would be
Obtuse
great.
is the word that we used last time. Try to make it as pellucid as you can.
well, anyway,
Simple terms.
We used to have a word of the day. I don't know what happened to that.
Hey,
We had a little
hey,
vocabulary.
Biggie, can you come up with a word right now? Just come up with a word. You
Any
got
word?
any word? He'll know what the hell you're talking about. Matter of fact, you could ask me first, see if I know this word. But
Why don't you look up on the computer SAT?
and while we're talking
Yes,
here,
SAT words.
And-
something useful. We can teach the kids.
yeah,
Hey, was your
something.
daughter going to take the SAT or the ACT?
My kid's taking the ACT, and she's
Okay.
already studying for it.
Good for her.
And she took it one time already.
I got a
She-
30.
Well, she's actually trying to get higher than that. So
30, yeah, she probably can.
Right now, that's kind of like
Math wasn't good.
that's good.
Yeah.
That 30 is good.
Got me
but,
in anywhere I want to go.
But it's not like the number that's the magic number anymore.
Where does she want to go to school?
New York.
NYU?
Yeah, NYU, she said.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's
Good
where
school.
she's shooting for. But I got to break the news to her that I'm not paying for NYU. I seen NYU. I told her Mizzou. Mizzou is the place to be.
Oh, come on.
$17,000 a year. How can you go wrong with that?
I'm not talking about that, but yeah, come on. If she gets a 32 or 33 on her age, send her to Yale.
Well, she should be getting a scholarship if she gets that type of number.
Well, that
there.
and her GPA. What's her GPA?
GPA right now, she's all about A's and B's. Couple B's, but A's. And they're all accelerated classes.
Okay.
So I'm kind of proud of the kid, you know. She
Yeah.
definitely takes after me.
All right, I got one.
I was just about to claim. I was just about to say
All right.
what a mystery
All right,
genetics
all right.
is.
I don't want to talk about
It's
that.
an abject.
You speak with a flosculation.
Spell it.
FLOSCULATION.
I know this. I know this. Can I take the first crack at
ahead.
this? Flosciation
Oh, God.
Flosculation.
means there's a lot of spirit behind the conversation. There's
I don't think so. I think it's actually something about pronunciation of the word. Is it as a lisp?
It's defined as an embellishment or ornament in your speech.
Wow, that's a good one.
Where the hell did you get
Is
that
that Greek? That's not an SAT word, is it?
No, I found a library of rare words.
Oh, well, that's pretty rare. Yeah.
God damn, Biggie, why don't you bring this up every week?
All right, let's try another one.
You know what an
here.
osculation is?
Hold on, I got another word here. He's got.
Wait a minute, I got one for you. Do you know what an osculation is?
Osculation?
Osculation.
Yeah, it's related to the ostrich. You got a long neck. He runs fast.
It's a lot simpler. It's a kiss.
It's a kiss from the ostrich. That's where it all stems from.
One
kisses.
tender osculation.
That's what I was saying. Go ahead, Biggie. What's the next
Hey, all
word?
right,
here?
we got one here.
Let's see what we got here. How about grayocracy?
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is so easy.
Spell it.
GRAOCRACY.
Well, this
Well, cracy is like democracy.
Exactly.
It's a government by
Exactly.
by the elderly.
By an old woman or women.
Okay,
That's
there
what
you go.
I was going to say. He rudely
So you
jumped
can
in.
figure, kids, when you're taking your SAT, think it over. Get your suffixes and your prefixes, and you'll be okay.
That's I like to
I
know
didn't-
what kid listens to this show for one. Yeah,
It's a very depraved child.
yeah, definitely.
All
Hey,
right,
you
enough
know
of
what?
that.
Enough of that bullshit. Let me get to my big picks.
Wait
for
a minute.
today.
Did you hear? Since Nick isn't here, I'm going to give you one. I'm going to
All
give
right,
you.
yeah,
Since
please
this
do.
is a story that Nick would have told if he were here. Did you see the Indian Air Force scrambled because they saw a UFO?
Shut up.
Now, I didn't know India had an Air Force, but I don't know what if it's
Are you
biplanes.
kidding me?
or-
All the
Have to.
Pakistani.
but they have nuclear. So they have a nuclear arsenal. And
They both do,
that's
don't
not,
they?
Right. So what do they need Air Force for? Which was
To
basically
deliver it?
good point. Yeah. But how many do you need? I mean,
Fair.
or you have missiles. But during the Cold War, we had, basically we had SAC, Strategic Air Command, and that was our whole. If we were going to fight the Russians, the idea was there was going to be no army, there was going to be no conventional war. We were just going to bomb the hell out of them with nukes from B-52s.
Right.
So that's what the Air Force was, the most important arm of the military.
Speaking of that, those fucking ISIS. Did you see they planning on bombing that Russian?
They haven't proven that yet, but it looks like it probably was.
I think, man, it's scary flying over Europe now, man.
Well,
These
apparently, though,
pricks-
this airport that they flew out of is, their security is more or less like our security here. They.
Token.
It is like ours.
Well, I'm talking about in this room.
Oh,
that kind of security.
Yeah, we'll let anybody.
Yeah,
that's not
their
good.
their X-ray scanners.
Holy
it's
shit.
an etch-a-sketch.
Well,
They have
that's
no
not good.
security.
240
so the British,
people.
the British and these other countries are saying no flights out of there anymore. They don't want their people flying out of that.
Russia has
airport.
suspended all flights to Egypt too, as of
Yeah.
this morning.
Well, it's gonna kill
Putin
Egypt.
made the,
Well, what the hell's Egypt got to do with it?
Because that's where it
where they
flew
were
out
headed.
of.
Oh, I understand that, but I mean
they
that
know
could
what they're
happen to any place.
Yeah, but you know what they're doing? They're attacking. They're smart because they're attacking the economy. Because Egypt has their tourism is a big part of their economy,
and
So
they
can
shut down
ruin
that
it.
brotherly Islam or whatever. The generals and shit of Egypt, they took over that country. They shut
Well,
down.
it's Al Sisi. Al Sisi That guy's good. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a
friend of ours.
Who's that?
Al-Sisi. The guy's a general, I believe.
Yeah, he's
all right.
But
he's now
Obama at first was like, "Oh, well, I can't have this." They go, "Fuck you! You're not running this government.
Yeah.
We know what the hell's going on. Get out of here. Get out of our affair."
Obama. Did you see he sent troops to Syria? 50 of them.
50 of them.
50.
Yeah.
That'll help.
50,
That should clear it up. Now, don't get me wrong. These guys, I'm sure, are badasses, and I wouldn't want to take any of them on.
They're all
50,
Rambos. They're all Rambos.
Yeah, you're putting these guys in danger for. Come on. 50.
Speaking of that, we covered this
Imbecile.
on we covered this on Not So Fast last
Did you?
yesterday.
Really?
No,
I didn't know
not
you guys
not
were-
that, not
Oh.
that. We covered.
I thought you guys were just a bunch of stupid asses talking about sports.
Yeah,
all
it is.
academics.
But what it was. Hey, Dick.
4 obtuse jackasses talking about sports.
All right.
Well, that's
this,
what it is.
this-
Yeah.
This is
That's
what
an
we did
accurate
talk about. Hey,
portrayal.
shut up!
See, now you know how Nick feels, right?
No, but you're gonna like this,
Oh.
and I want your opinion on this.
I bet I don't.
I want to know. They found out that these big flags that are flown before a football game and
Yeah.
shit like that, that's paid for by the U.S. military. It's not the team showing patriotism.
It's a recruitment tactic.
Which
recruitment
big
tactic?
flags?
Oh, you see all the before the games with the kid throwing out the first pitch, a team wearing camouflage or something like that. This is all
Doesn't
fucking
surprise me.
military
Yeah.
funded. This is
It's
not
recruiting.
even.
It's a recruiting tool.
I cannot believe that, and I got pissed off at the whole thing about that. I just thought it was like national pride being by
Nobody
each
has that.
individual team and so forth.
National pride is
NASCAR
propaganda,
got
sir.
$1.5 million
Wow.
last year just to do all that shit, to wave a flag from the cars and shit like that. It's
1.5
unbelievable.
million.
Hey, can we get in on this?
$1.5 million.
Well, how do we get in on this
Oh, no
deal?
shit. You guys can
I'm
come
wearing
here to
camouflage.
our
Yeah.
show
Listen,
anytime
I want
and
you
plant a big
blackface when
U.S.
you come in
flag.
Yeah.
You guys can plant a U.S.
Listen,
flag
for $1.5
right in
million,
the-
bucks, I'd wear one of those Viet Minh bamboo hats. Anything you say. I'd
How the
change
fuck
sides.
would that be national pride there?
Well, I'm just saying. I would
Vietnam
switch to the
national
Communist
pride.
Party. That's how venial I am.
Yeah,
Venial means easily bribed.
easily bribed. Venial.
Venial. Often confused with venal, which is just a small sin.
Yeah,
you know, like
often,
jerking
often
off.
you use.
jerking
How
off
many
is
times do you
venal.
hear those two stupid words?
Oh, it's all the
Often
time.
confused with veiny.
All right, so what were you saying again?
Which means the blue thing on your cock.
Exactly.
what were you saying
Hey,
again?
listen, I can't get you with something subtle, so I have to
Yeah, what were you bringing up? That I
fuck your
interrupted
grandmother's
you?
dog.
Yeah. What is that again? How you say it? Men's
Miss mighty get
shuna
shuna kunem. What, I got to teach you
Kunem.
Armenian?
Yeah, no kidding. That
Yeah.
was beautiful.
I just like saying it.
Hey, get our fucking minutes up here. I don't care about that
He's got the
anymore.
words on there.
45.
45
plenty
and
of time.
hey, I
got other
like
stories.
to cover. You got another one?
Well, I
Let's
got
hear it.
plenty.
I want to hear them.
All right, well,
you're
here's
just sitting around
okay.
here.
Here's another hysteria that is driving me a little nuts. One of my pet
something
peeves.
driving them nuts.
This vaccination. These vaccination. Have you heard about this, E?
No, I have not.
Well, these.
Get a little more specific. I've heard
Yes,
of-
I endeavor to do so.
I have heard of vaccinations, yes.
Yes. Well, I'm going to. Right. I'm going to.
yeah.
I'm looking for. Well, I forgot the word. Amplify. I'm going to amplify that statement.
We got amplifiers all over here.
All right. But apparently, there's some spurious studies out there that say that these vaccinations for measles, etc., cause autism. And that's a bunch of horse
Yeah,
shit.
that's ridiculous.
It's never been proven.
These
So,
anti-vacciners are just crazy.
yeah, these guys are really nuts.
It's almost as bad as
but-
your conspiracy guys. Mm.
Yeah, well, I'm going to defer to Nick on the. He'll let him
No,
counter that
he'll
statement.
be against you guys on this one.
And I think the Indian Air Force is probably going to. They may have
They're
something to say
somewhere.
about that too. But
if I know Nick, he'll say the Indian Air Force is part of the UFO.
right, well, it's part of that. That
Part of that group.
It's part of that Walmart Army training that they're in on that.
Oh, Lord.
If you look on a $20 bill that you trifold into a pyramid, you'll see it all in the
Right.
the twin towers, etc. But apparently, though, now this kind of makes sense. What they're saying is that these vaccinations, you shouldn't take them all at once. So more people are opting to spread them out. Now that to me, okay, I can deal with
what's the
that.
science
They're
behind it?
getting, I don't know, but that's apparently. But there's still 1% or more, a little bit more than 1% of people that do not want to get vaccinations for their kids, and that's ridiculous.
How can it cause autism? A vaccination at
They
its
think it's one of the
base-
preservatives or something in the. It's not the
okay.
it's not the
Well, what do you think about that? Do you
I think it's horse shit. I think it's eat your bacon and get vaccinated.
that's
I mean,
right?
let's think about it like this: the so-called percentage of autism from vaccinations, whatever that percentage is, has to be way less than the percentage.
I don't
of
think
people
they've proven
that would
any.
die.
They haven't proven any.
Well, whatever they
Nothing.
think it is.
Well, that's the point, though. The reasoning being that we have this huge uptick in autism and Asperger's, etc., and somehow one study, which I don't even think was scientifically monitored or approved or peer reviewed, said it's because of this. It's because of these inoculations.
You know,
Sounds like they make more money
there's
from autism
groups.
than vaccinations.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a global warming thing. Now we need more money to study it more.
All these goddamn groups. You know, PETA, whatever.
Yeah. Boy, I'll tell you what, though. Don't say anything against PETA. You'll never get laid.
PETA Malark?
Chicks are big on PETA.
Really? Is that what you're running into?
I'm a PETA member. I contribute. I tithe to PETA.
Well, in any case,
Save the doggies.
PETA's making
Except the
Meds
grandmothers.
mighty get kunim.
Meds mighty could have, and now you want to fuck the grandma.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Meds mighty get
Shuna
shuna
kunim.
I said
dog.
fuck your grandmother. That's right.
And,
I'm sorry.
grandmother fucking now. Hey, but in any case, PETA right now wants Des Bryant to give up his monkey. He's got a pet monkey.
Why? I'm sure he takes good care of it.
Yeah, and they're
Probably
saying
close.
that we want that monkey away from him.
Oh, they want to return it to the wilds. I
Yeah,
guess.
return it to the wild.
You know what those guys would do if they caught that dentist that killed the lion? I think they would. I think they'd kill the guy. I think they'd literally execute that guy.
Rip him apart.
I think they would. I think they'd feed him to a lion.
What was that poor lion's name?
Cecil.
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 Yeah, he's an English lion.
Cecil Fielder, Cecil Fielder. What's the difference?
I got you.
You
I
say
got
tomato, I say tomato.
What else story you got?
Well, I got plenty of them. I mean, I thought we were running
Let's
out of
hear a
time.
couple more here,
Did you hear
and then
about
I'll
the-
go to my sports.
Did you hear about the gal that wanted Jesus to pay her food bill? $20. She had a 26.
Jesus
She was in a
always
restaunt.
pays the bill.
20. That's pretty profound.
Yes, Jesus is always paying our bills.
He's paying yours.
God bless you.
Well, he didn't pay this one. Apparently, it's $26, and she said, "Let Jesus pay."
Let Jesus.
That's pretty
pay, huh?
ballsy in itself, isn't it?
There's kind of
So
a
what
thing
happened
in
there?
that family, though.
I think Jesus didn't, and she was reprimanded.
He learned from his
Jesus
father.
didn't.
I'm not sure. I didn't finish the article, but I'm just extrapolating.
What a bitch. Let Jesus pay.
And then these three now
Satanic
apparently here's something
asshole.
else. Now here's something else going to fuck up the federal government or the regulators. That according now these 3D printers, they're saying that there's some toxic substances that are left over from 3D printing, which
Well, who the fuck cares? That probably could happen.
I don't
No big
either. I
deal.
don't really care. But the thing is,
Well, it's-
you've got this really promising new technology. This 3D
I like
printing.
to talk about your
There's
Republicans.
like 4 or 5 different types of 3D printing.
Oh, there's all kind. Yeah,
So
there's different ways that some of it.
start with powder, start with a liquid base.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then some of it
laser.
they
Okay,
build from the bottom. Some of it drips
honestly,
like a liquid.
I don't give a shit.
What do you mean?
I want to
That's
talk
just
about.
big
I want to talk about your Republicans that are saying we want to know each question and keep each question easy on these debates.
No,
what
they
the
just
hell is
wanna
that
stick,
all
They
about?
just want to stick to the damn issues. That's all.
Oh fuck! These
Oh,
guys
come
are
on.
big pussies. They're big
Here
pussies.
we go again. What, yeah,
And you know what? I'm not even supporting the Democrats or anything. I'm
Well,
just
yes, you
saying
are.
to you, that's kind
Did
of
you
a
see
bullshit.
the Democrat report? Did you see that?
I
debate?
don't even like their bullshit either.
Well,
I'm
but
saying
they got
to you,
softball questions.
if you're going to be running for president, and I swear to God, I'm not talking as a Democrat. I hate all these bullshits now. I'm just talking about. You got to be ready for any fucking question. Don't tell me I don't want this question. I don't want that
no,
question.
the point is it's petty. It's pettiness. You ask somebody, Ochoman's running for president. I don't ask you what your pick is for your final draft pick for this weekend. No, I ask you, how are you going to fix the economy? And they don't ask.
What are they asking about?
It's more
That's what I'm
tabloid.
telling you. They ask about final draft and DraftKings, and they're asking the stupidest questions, and they're trying to get people to fight with each other.
Well,
Did you watch the debate?
No, I don't.
You don't know what
I
you're
didn't
talking
watch
about.
the debate, but I'm telling you right now,
It's
I do
stupid.
not want to hear about them avoiding questions. Though you should have every question.
They're
and-
not, but the questions aren't like I said, they're not to the point. That's not asking any questions that are about. And Chris Christie, who I'm not a big fan of, but I got to admit, the guy said, "Look, we've got an economy, $19 trillion in debt. We got ISIS up our ass. We've got all these problems, and you're talking about DraftKings." That's one of the questions.
That's one of the questions.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I like Christie for what he said.
I like
Also,
Christie.
he said
now
that
I like him better.
I just liked him on that because he said, "Hey, quit being a basically quit being a pussy and answer these questions too." That was part of the.
Well, he did say that, but what I would say is, I'd say, what I would say is, listen, ask me a question with some substance about
right.
policy.
In any case, I just didn't like how they're avoiding questions. I mean, if you're up there,
They didn't avoid any
take every
questions.
fucking question and shut up about it. Don't
Not
say
they're stupid.
You want a GOP up there.
Listen, let me
giving
tell
the
you
questions.
something. I watch CNBC every day. That's what I watch for the stock market. John Harwood, who was one of the moderators, this guy is a lefty son of a bitch. Okay, Meds mighty get shunakunem. John Harwood. Okay,
You like him though. I mean, you like that type of show though.
Well,
I mean, the money aspect and all that. I mean, that's
but
the guy that you like.
No, because he's a reporter. He's not. No, I like Joe Kernan, and Becky Quick was on there. She's halfway decent. Carl Quintanilla was the other guy. He's kind of a homo, but usually
homosexual, not homo. Homosexual.
Yeah, he's one of those. What is it? Is it GLBTQs?
Whatever the hell that is.
No, it's lesbian. It's gay, lesbian, bisexual, trans, and queer.
LGBTs.
No, but they added Q.
Oh, they had queer to
T
it.
and Q.
When the hell did they add a queer onto that?
Well, that's what I can't. I was going to ask. I was going to bring that up. I'm glad we got to that point. I don't know how we got Republican debate to
How do
this.
you define that?
That's what I want to know. Because now it's not. It is. They actually added that on. It was lesbian, gay, trans, bi, and trans, LGBT.
Right.
They added Q, which means queer.
Well, how do you
I
know
think
that's a queer? That
I think
could be
that's
something
redundant,
else.
don't you?
I do.
And it really shoots off everything there, doesn't it? I mean,
I
I was
like
wondering.
a
Maybe I want to know.
Nancy
Is there
group.
something else in there that I missed?
what else you got? What else you got?
All right. Well, we're heading for a new Maunder minimum, so
What?
dress warm. It's another peer-reviewed study. We're heading for a Maunder minimum, which was in the 18th century.
Who gives a shit
Very
about
cold weather. The Thames froze over,
Oh,
and
me
that's
neither.
where.
I don't care about that. Let's
Oh,
get
you don't
to
care.
my
You care
sports.
about
Let's
global
get
warming?
my sports.
The polar
Yeah.
bears will love it.
All right, let's get to my
PETA love
sports here, and this is what I got for you folks out there for this weekend.
Get ready. Get set. It's time for the Ochoman's Big Picks of the Day.
I got Notre Dame visiting Pittsburgh. This line is 7.5. Pittsburgh at home. Hey, I think this is a trap game here. I love Pittsburgh getting the spread here. Notre Dame's going to win this game 23-20, but 7.5. Forget about it. This Pittsburgh team lost last week to North Carolina. I think they were looking over the Tar Heels, but this team is 6-2. And I think they're going to be
ranked.
I don't think
Probably
they're ranked
not, huh?
after last week. But in any case, I think they definitely cover 7.5. I like this game going Pittsburgh side. 23-20, I think Notre Dame will win on that one. Tonight's game, we got a NHL play that I really like. Toronto at home versus Detroit. It's a plus 105 for Toronto. I like Toronto here. I think Toronto at home here. I'm jumping all over that one. And our NFL, we got an NFL losers pool that's really popular now. I like the NFL pool. I like
What's
Chicago. It's where you pick a loser a week, and it's a big thing right now. Going around at office pools and so forth. So I figured
You
why
wanna pick
not
a
throw-
loser.
Yeah, they pick a loser. They can't pick that team again. They just pick that team one time and see who lasts the longest. Okay.
Oh.
And this week I like Chicago to lose to San Diego. I like the Chargers to win outright.
So you don't have any points. You just have to lose.
Yeah, and my spread
Well,
game.
I'd save New England for the end, I think.
Yeah, you don't want it to come down to New England. All right.
What's he doing over there?
I don't know. He came up with a sound effect the whole fucking time he's been sitting there.
I finally got one.
Yeah.
Why don't you just fart into the microphone?
Or belch at you
Yeah,
again.
right. That belt. Yeah, and blow it over here. That's good. That's good whiskey. Aged very well. I could practically
Aged
taste
30
it.
minutes.
And did you see
I
he
could almost-
blamed it all on me?
Yeah.
He filled it up.
I was wondering about. I could practically taste the
You
cask.
smelt it, dealt it, all right?
all right.
Yeah.
Anyway, my last game here,
You sniffed it, quiffed it. That's a Kachigian. That's an original.
I like Tampa Bay.
you know what a queef is, by the way?
Oh, fuck.
Oh,
You're not
of
going to
course
let
I
me
know.
give this off,
Do
are
you know what a queef is?
Yeah, it's where your it's women's vagina does
That's
that
right.
flappy thing.
A pussy fart, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Vulvular discharge.
Hey, this is what people want
be
to
Who
careful.
hear.
cares?
Who
How'd you do
cares?
last week anyway?
I did very good last week. Once again, yeah.
We got
Tampa
time.
Bay
It's not even
at
an hour
home.
yet.
Tampa Bay at home. All right? Fucking shut up for a
who's
second.
home? Your home?
Tampa Bay at home.
My home.
And they are underdogs to the Giants. They're getting plus 2.5. I love Tampa Bay here. Giants looked horrible. Horrible.
I don't like that
against
stuff. I mean,
against
then I go
New
with the-
Orleans.
I
They
go
gave
with the
up
under.
52 points.
go with the under then.
I love Jameis
You know what?
Winston on
There's
this
some.
one.
There's some.
Jameson Winston. Go ahead. What are you?
You're
gonna
thinking
say?
of whiskey again.
No,
There's
Jameson Winston, yeah.
No, there's a systems bet though. I think like after a team.
I know, but
50
this is the
points or
Ocho
more.
Man
I'm
pick,
saying,
so get off the Ocho Man's
take
picks
it,
here.
take an under. They're not going to give up many
I like
points.
Tampa Bay here plus 2.5 at home. The over and under, I think it's around 47. So
Too much.
anyway, that's what the Ocho Man's got for you guys on the sports aspect. What do you got going this weekend?
Well, I'm just
Anything?
bragging about Facebook. It's like 106 now. What did I tell you when you weren't here? But it is documented. Go back. Look up the show. About 2 months ago, it was was it low 90s. I told Oach it's going to be to 100 before the end of the year. It's 106.
106 now. He predicted it. He said
Although
that.
I got to say, Valiant Pharmacy, the one I picked last week, is
I checked them out.
going to hell.
Yeah, going to
I'd
hell.
still buy them. I'd buy
You're
now.
still buying.
It's less than 80. It's cheap.
Buying.
It's really cheap. But they got Congress up their ass now.
You can't do anything good when Congress is up your ass.
Yeah, but once they get
that's
Congress
a
and one's
bad
But
fucking
they're not
deal.
going to find anything, so they're going to once they're
They're cleared from everything.
once they fart Congress out, they'll be fine. So VRX.
That's
if
the
you
one.
got a little, if you got a little money that
is
you
that
went
the
on
one
Tampa
you're?
Bay,
Is that the one you're jumping on?
I
again?
got it. It's costing me money right now. But I'm making it on Disney.
Disney.
Disney's making me
So
good money.
who's the one that
You
you're
gotta be
going
excited
after
about
right
Star
now?
Wars, then.
Well, you might have missed the boat on Disney a little bit. I think they're already out, and Facebook too. It's tough to say. You know,
All right, who gives
go
a
with,
shit?
go-
Yeah, go with
I don't care.
Facebook
It's your
still.
money. Who cares? Go with Twitter.
Twitter.
What do I care if you
All right,
lose-
my
if you lose money?
friends from
Procter & Gamble.
the Ocho Man.
If you're a Democrat, go with Twitter. Go with Shake Shack.
Our empty seat Nick
I got a
and
shitty one for
Big
you.
E here. We are out of here. Have a great weekend.
So long, Nick.
And it ain't over now. Because when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Who's with me? Let's go. Come on. Ah!
The Ocho Man, Behind the 8 Ball. Only on Ignotainment. Leave us your questions and comments below this podcast in the comments section of the iTunes Podcast Store.